This morning we are in southern Idaho, running an overland route that is loosely based on the Idaho Backcountry Discovery Route. We jumped on the BDR at Glenn's Ferry and made our way north, camping last night at the Trinity Lakes campground. We found a great camping spot right on the lake. The weather was mild when we set up camp, and it went down into the 50s overnight. Our plan for today was to take a short drive up the Trinity Mountain fire tower and then set a course for Deadwood Reservoir.
Need to get over to your right a little bit. Right here, right here.
Trying to avoid that one rock.
Here we third.
However, we soon discover that there's a gate midway up the mountain that blocks full-size auto traffic up to the fire tower. So that's where we stopped and took some pictures and took in the views.
Well, I don't know if this video is going to do it justice. There's a road going up to the side of that mountain. And right up there at the very top is a lookout tower. And it says it's manned from 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening. I don't know. I see where the road goes up, but I don't know how you get up from there. Pretty good hike. I'm glad we came up here. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, a little disappointing when you get all the way to the top, but
Well,
not disappointing.
it's
But
not our fault.
no. Well, kind of.
Yeah,
We're too big.
We're too lazy. No, well, that's true, but also we're too lazy to hike up there.
Well, we didn't. Yeah, that ain't no lie. You know, we don't have the supplies for hiking. Your phone went off? Oh.
Yeah. Trump's up early this morning trying to raise money. Google what?
Fires in Idaho.
Oh, I have it. I have a map
Oh, okay.
that will show it.
I don't think there's any around right now because it's us anyway. What's that sign on the rock?
I don't know.
did that on this road?
They were driving too
It's a
fast
Geo.
and came around that curve and lost control.
It's a Geo, it says. It's been there while those squirrels are all over it.
But I'm guessing everybody got out okay.
It's not been too long. Let's look at the dirt.
It's a little tracker.
Yeah, I see that here. It says Geo.
Well, I'm guessing they got out okay.
What is that you're standing on? Clear?
Yeah. But that tree came right into the driver's door. It's a little bitty car to begin with. Yeah. Yeah, we were just driving down the road and rolled up on this. Luckily, this has happened. There's already been a sheriff's car stuck underneath in the gas tank area to let somebody know they've already investigated it.
From here we made our way into Loman and then followed this stream for quite a ways. There's a lot of water in Idaho, and much of the BDR route follows along streams just like this. What attracts me to overland travel is exploring wilderness areas and then finding that ideal camp spot at the end of the day. Sometimes you run across a great spot, but it's too early in the day. And then when you are ready to finally call it a day and find a camp, there's nothing in the area. Today we found a great spot, but we had to do a lot of cleanup because the previous campers had abandoned camp, leaving all of their trash along with broken camp chairs and waste. But in the end it was worth it. We had a nice spot right on the edge of Deadwood Reservoir. Last night we sat by the lake, watching the sun go down and the stars come out. We did some stargazing until it got just a little too chilly for me. Today our route will take us into Yellow Pine, across the Elk Summit, and down into the old mining town of Warren. Well, the big city of Yellow Pine. Wonder if the store will be open today.
Taking bets the store is not open. Come on, name it.
It's open.
Oh, look at the horses. You say it's open?
Yeah, I'm betting that it's open.
Okay.
This is it, isn't it?
Looky there. What,
Yeah.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Yeah, grocery
This is
store and motel.
That store didn't have much stocked in it either.
Mm-mm.
I think this is my turn. Yep. Yeah, it's Trump again. I think he's trying to sell me some Bibles or something like that to raise money. Right here is where we've left the South Fork of the Salmon River, and we're climbing quickly up over the pass, which eventually will lead us into Warren. Warren's an old mining town that now seems to be really popular with the side-by-side crowd. This is the Bomb Shelter. It's a saloon and eatery. We stopped in here last year when it was raining and cold. It was pretty crowded, but we found a couple of chairs up next to the bar and hung out for a while. From Warren, we decided to break off our planned route and head into McCall for the night. We spent the night in McCall and headed out early the next morning. It was just over an hour's drive to get back on our planned route. Our first stop was the old school bus. This is a quirky landmark along the way, so we had to stop and take some pictures. Next up was the French Creek Grade, a winding switchback field road that snakes around the mountain, leading us down to the Salmon River. Yeah, it's Trump again. This time he's trying to sell watches. From here we followed the Salmon River all the way into Riggins, skipping the turnoff that takes us up by the old ghost town in Florence. It's a great trail for motorcycles, but not as enjoyable in a Jeep. Narrow trails, dense woods, and lots of blind corners make it more suited for two wheels than four. Instead, we took Highway 96 into Grangerville, where we rejoined the BDR route farther east. Later in the day, we reached the start of the Magruder Corridor. It's a 100-mile long road that crosses into Montana and offers views of the Bitterroot Mountains. Along the way, we spotted this rider letting his horse roll in the sand. I'd hoped to camp at Observation Point for the night, but when we stumbled across this campground, we decided it was time to call it a day.
A fly swatter. Oh, it's not that bad a camp.
No, those biting flies weren't here. Wouldn't be bad at all.
It'd really be great. Got this nice little stream back here.
We set off early this morning with our first planned stop at the Burnt Knob Lookout Tower. Last year we decided not to take the road up to Burnt Knob because there was motorcycles on the trail and I didn't want to interfere. While the trail is rough, it's no problem for a Jeep. But as a motorcycle rider myself, I knew they'd have their hands full with the rocks, much less a Jeep coming the opposite direction.
Yeah, I remember last time it was rough. Well, we didn't go up it. There was a guy sitting out here. Does that say 1.5 or 15?
No, 1.5, I'm sure. Well,
Rough, steep road maintained for 4x4 vehicles only. We got it.
let me get it in four-wheel drive first. Well, let's go give it a try.
I'm not digging this road.
Well, we knew it was going to be rough.
Did we?
Yeah. That's why I wanted to do it early in the morning. When the Jeep-
Before I got irritable.
Well, no, just because the Jeep.
Why don't they ask? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say people are not hanging out here.
You may be right.
Okay, that's good enough. Oh yeah.
At the top, the view was incredible, even with the haze from the forest fires farther west. Inside the Burnt Knob Lookout Tower. This is pretty cool.
See them on the map, but you couldn't see them. Wow, fine accommodations.
Man,
Can you imagine being up here in a windstorm?
Not long after we started our trip back down, we came across a motorcycle rider making his way up. He let us know his buddy had abandoned his bike about halfway up.
You're almost there. It's rough. I ride motorcycles and I was like, no, I think I'd rather do it in a Jeep.
I probably shouldn't have gone this far, man.
Yeah, you're almost there. Continue out.
Yeah, but you gotta go back down.
Hey, shit,
How many you got coming up behind you?
down there.
Okay.
He's walking up, but he actually left his bike parked down past that flat spot.
Okay.
It was not long before we ran across him walking up the trail. We did reach his bike, and I noticed he'd left it right in the middle of the trail. I have no idea why, but was thankful he at least turned it around so it was facing downhill. I decided to move the bike myself, but with it being fully loaded and not under power, it was a challenge for Karen and me, but we managed.
Shit, I done walked all this way. Now you want me to walk back? You want to turn off this camera or leave it on for insurance purposes? What can I do?
Well, we did it.
Check that off the list.
Yeah, I'll have to sew you up a badge. That's slow going.
That's rough going.
Yeah, that is. That was a very rough.
Even for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my kind of road right here.
I'm gonna let you drive
Okay.
once I get kind of situated here.
Just get us down gear and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's Trump again. He's got some high-top tennis shoes or gold sneakers he's wanting to sell. As you can see, a large portion of the Magruder Corridor has been impacted by fires over the years. While this takes away some of the beauty, it opens up the landscape, offering much better views and a real sense of the lay of the land. We finished up the Magruder early in the afternoon and headed into Missoula to get a hotel, planning for an early start on the Lolo Motorway in the morning. Okay, we're officially entering the Lolo.
And already it looks a little roughy.
The Lolo Motorway is one of the most historic backcountry roads in the United States. This 100-mile stretch of rugged trail follows the path of the legendary Lewis and Clark expedition of 1805. This narrow winding road runs along the ridge line of the Bitterroot Mountains, offering views of deep valleys and distant mountain ranges. Don't let the term motorway fool you. This route is a rough ride, best suited for high clearance four-wheel drive vehicles.
We were talking about on the Magruder how the fire, the trees being down helped with the view. This is what the view would be like over there.
No, that's exactly right. Waiting for that fire to be.
There would be no view. No, which, I mean, there's lookouts here and there. Most people travel this. But it's not as well traveled, I guess, as Magruder.
Yeah.
Woods and what have you as there is out here. I was expecting, I would expect to see more wildlife.
Yeah, but
Deer.
you know, they're hearing a vehicle come along. They don't stand out on the road and wait for you to come by. You just get those instances where you get kind of lucky. And well, that's a shame it's so smoky today. There's wildlife right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was referring to, but you know, see some more deer, elk, moose wouldn't be bad. I won't get greedy about the bear. We saw that right off. Check. Surely we got to see a moose somewhere along this. You finding it?
This is crazy. We have no cell service up in these mountains. Then when we do get a little service, he's the first one to send a text. This time it looks like he's pushing his new cryptocurrency. Along the way, there are markers identifying various camps for Lewis and Clark, as well as tales of their challenges.
Oh, this is the Bears, Oils, and Roots Camp. So long dissolved. Of course, there was but little grass. Here we encamped for the night, having traveled 28 miles over these mountains without relieving the horses from their packs or their having any food. Our meat being exhausted, we issued a pint of bear's oil to a mess which we used a pint of bear's oil to a mess, which with their boiled roots made an agreeable dish.
This area is known as the Indian Post Office. It may look like a pile of rocks, but it was once used by Native Americans as a place to leave messages and offerings, as well as a landmark for cross-country travel.
Indian Post Office.
Walking on sacred grounds. There's a truck here.
A little farther down the trail was the Crested Butte Lookout. Many of these old fire lookouts are available for overnight stays with a reservation through recreation.gov. Unfortunately, the smoke from the fires out west once again impacted our view.
Wow, look at all that over there.
Oh yeah.
It's all burnt. Trees down, or disease, one of the two. These don't look so much like they're burnt, some of them.
These do look like they're diseased.
No, I mean, that one's burnt. But on the inside, it's still, well, that one could have been weathered. I guess that's where we're going, way down there? Because it goes,
Yeah, I think so.
circles back
Well,
around.
No, I can't tell.
I don't see any other trails.
Yeah, so I don't know that we're going there though.
Maybe
It's
that's-
not. I think that's another,
Another road?
because that would be,
We finished up the Lolo late in the afternoon. After looking for a suitable campsite, we decided to get a room at the Pioneer Inn in Pierce, a popular stopping place for motorcyclists traveling the Idaho BDR. Tomorrow will be the last section of our trip, from Pierce to Wallace. We left Pierce early in the morning. I was looking forward to the drive to Avery and then on to Wallace. This may be my favorite section of the BDR. Here we're crossing the Granddad Bridge. This is quite a big bridge for being in the middle of the National Forest. But a few miles down the road, it was closed for construction. I was aware there had been a construction in the area earlier, but the Idaho BDR website said it was open when I checked the day before. No choice but to turn around and find another route. Unfortunately, there's only 2 crossings on the 54-mile-long Dorsack Reservoir. So it resulted in us backtracking all the way to where we started in Pierce and rerouting to St. Marie, finally rejoining the route in Avery on the next day. We arrived in Elk River around 3:30 in the afternoon and ran across this peaceful little campground on a lake. Knowing we had quite a ways to go before we reached Avery, we decided to stay here for the night. The drive to Avery took us about 2 hours. I was disappointed we had to miss the section between the Granddad Bridge and Avery. It's one of my favorites on the BDR. It has the famous blue cabin, the old stand of red cedar trees, and I really wanted to check on this big old cedar tree the beavers were working on last year. Anyway, the drive from Avery to Wallace was pretty special too. There's an upper route that takes you through multiple railway tunnels and a lower route that takes you right along the North Fork of the St. Joe River. Last year we took the high road. This year I opted for the low road, right along the river. Shortly after lunch, we made it into Wallace, and that was a wrap on our Idaho adventure. Yeah, it's him again. Oh, wow. This time he's inviting us out to Mar-a-Lago. Get on your phone and see how long it'll take us to get there.